your legs have to go.
The wrong angle.
No, you're away.
The
Look,
other way.
you have to sit in line.
Oh,
These
right.
are
In line.
there.
Yeah,
Right,
half
fine.
funnel.
Now, if you straighten your legs just to a C, now if you can move, say, an inch or two down that way, right, that's no bad. And if you lie back now, right, that's perfect. That. And what was your clan again? You told me, but I forgot it. What?
Glass.
Glass. I think glass is Gaelic for water.
Green.
Green.
Greeny blue.
The colour.
Gouache. Like gouache lean.
Mm-hmm. Is that alright?
Aye.
Could I go tighter or
Keep
is
it
that
on
okay?
You might be sleeping in it
Fine.
tonight.
Just when you stand up, it will fall down. That's right.
That's fine. Basically, folk go, that's fine. Oh, can you wee bit more?
So can you get yourself up, Gavin, without standing on it? If you're a wee bit older, me and Steve would help you. But you're
Watch now. Oh, would you look at that?
And the thing is about this, once you've got it on, you never need to take it off, not until the end of the campaign. Because that's your bed and your clothing.
This is where that name comes from, the belted plate. Because this is the locking belt. So you're right or left-handed? Right-handed. So we'll keep this to your right.
Okay.
I'll put that in there. Could you just hang on to that belt? Here, and I'll fasten it up.
The beauty of tartan being wool, when it gets wet, it gets even warmer. It wasn't uncommon for people to actually damp their plate when they put it on, because it's like really, really warm. You do sweat in it. In fact, it's quite a relief to take it off some days.
A wee kink in it, but it's alright. Breathe in, Gav. I'm only joking.
He's not asked you what side you dress.
It doesn't matter in one of them.
You're not
Doesn't
funny.
matter in one of them.
Now you can see if you just turn around, you'll see the back. See how it's locked all the plates in there.
Yeah.
You'll see it. It's the same.
Oh,
as
you
mine.
twist
It's locked them in now. Hence that name, the belted plate. So we turn it back round. It's a wee bit long, so we'll take this corner here and we'll pull this up here. And this creates this big pocket here at the front. Feel the depth of that pocket. Same as my own. See here. This one here, the same. Pulled up through there. And if you just turn around, Gav, to show them the rear of it, you see all his plates there, and this long piece here is his jacket. So when the weather turns bad,
Oh,
he's got his
excellent.
jacket there, and he's got his kilt, wee kilt underneath, all the plates there the same as
And the
we.
beauty is, if it rains, the rain just channels off, because it's hanging.
I've got my pockets.
Hands in his pockets. Now you're right-handed, so we'll put it over your left shoulder. Now there's loads of different ways to wear this. I'm just showing you a couple tonight. I'll just tie this off here. There we go. So if you walk up and down the car walk, give them a wee slow twirl. See what we've done with it. Now this is what's got to keep them alive. The hill this evening. The next piece of the equipment is the bonnet. They say over 50% of body heat is lost through the head. So this is why this is so important. Get this on you, Gav, okay? There we go. Very handsome, sick. Now, a chief of a clan, or a chieftain, would wear eagle feathers in their bonnet. Now, eagle feathers are hard to come by, so I only have pheasant's feathers. Now a chief would have 3 in his bonnet, kind up there. It's a bit like a sergeant in the army or police or whatever, 3 stripes, you know his rank, 2 corporal or lance corporal, whatever. So 2 feathers would mean you were a chieftain, which is lower than a chief, and 1 feather would mean you're maybe their son or a nobleman, but at the end of the day you've got ranking because of that feather there. Maybe you look in the mirror, you'll be 7 foot tall now.
You would tell at a glance what your status was within the clan just by looking at the
Right.
feather.
So instantly, as he says, we're moving out the road of this guy if he's walking down the street. He's not working the plough. I'm working the plough. He owns the plough. It's a difference again. Now, next piece of equipment, this here. This is called, in English it'd be called a shield, but here we call it a targe. They say the word targe stems from the French word. There's a lot of French words in the English dictionary. It started life as target, that was then shortened to targe. Now this one's a McDonald's of Keepuk because of the design on it. It's a copy of one found at the Battle of Pressing Pan, was it? 1759. Always get it mixed up. Now you might think, what's the point of having such a nice design? I've seen targes like the metal work on them has been done in solid silver. The leather here's heavily embossed with Celtic knotwork. Stunning pieces of artwork that you maybe think, what the hell would you do that for going into battle for? But its purpose of these elaborate designs was it was a focal point. So when you met your enemy in combat, if he took his eye off yours for a split second, hand-to-hand fighting, split second, it means a hell of a lot that for breathing and no breathing. Even the sun hitting this in your enemy's eye, gives you an advantage over them. And you'll put this in your left arm, Gav. Now these were normally made with hardwoods, whether it's oak or ash, cut thinly and glued and riveted with the grain crossing over. This is what gives it its strength. This centre piece here is what's known as the boss. In the back side of the targe there'd be a wee pouch there or a scabbard, and that would hold a spike. And this is just a small spike, 2-3 inches. I don't like putting it on because it's lethal, so I'm just going to take it off. But sometimes these varied from, I've seen them a foot long, just a sharp, maybe a broken sword tip, or just a spike for pushing into your enemy. So take it back on. Before combat, that spike would be placed in there, and his dick would be drawn. In English it would be a dagger, but here we call it a dick. Hold it in this hand. So he's got his spike coming out here, and he's got this blade coming down the bottom on his defensive side. Right,
Now the shield's an offensive weapon. On top of that, come along with these guys.
I've seen that.
Just a brief history.
I didn't mind looking at you.
Now, in the olden days, way back before the Picts even, it would be ideal to fight, unusual to fight with short swords like this, on account of the fact that there was hardly any metal. Mostly they were bronze, but when steel came along, it made a much better and it kept an edge much better. But the thing is, with these swords, the handle was joined here. So when you find these in archaeology, all these rivets are broken because somebody's tried to hit with it and it's broke, so they've thrown it. Now as technology came along, and steel started to take way over, or iron came along, they come up with this idea. Now this is called the cruciform sword, and you can see it's like a cross shape. Very high tensile steel, and it's cut with a gutter down the middle. Can you see the gutter? That's called a fuller. We call it a blood gutter because if you stab with that, the flesh just goes and you're not getting that out. Now your sword's stuck in somebody and you've got nothing. So this creates an air hole so you can stab him again or whatever. Now the blade anatomy, it comes in 3 parts. The tip here, which would be razor sharp. I mean, that's, and you can see how pointed it is, for stabbing. And for here to about here, it's not quite as sharp, for that's for chopping. But here, it was traditional to keep that blank. That's to accept other weapons, and you don't get your blade, your edge all messed up. The very fact that this is cruciform meant the guys in the Crusades took these to war because they looked like a cross. And what they did is they come along and be all pious, and then get up and chop
Start
people
killing
to pieces,
people.
aye. This bit here, the hilt, it's a hand guard, but they call it the hilt. And up here the pommel, this is a wheel pommel, that's a counterweight, otherwise it would be front heavy. So this becomes part of the weapon. It's not just to protect your hands, it's like right through the ear. It'll stop just behind your nose, something like that. So every part of the sword is a weapon.